Thank you for your attention. It's been quite the ride. Many different thoughts, many different feelings. There is a microphone here, there's a microphone at the back, and it's now your opportunity to ask some questions, and if you're going to make statements, please, short ones. Thank you. Somebody's already ready in the back, I think. Is that microphone on?
I want to thank all of you because as a young activist, I am standing on the shoulders of giants. And it's the activism that came before me that makes it possible for me to do what I do and for me to even be alive in the way that I am. And also I want to say to Jason, I read your book when I was 16, when I thought that I was the only trans man in the world. And because I'm from Sudbury, Ontario, and so really, for the first couple of years, I was the only trans person I knew. So to know that there were other people in the world made a big difference. And yeah, 16 reading academic books, yeah, whatever. But it helps. Everything helps. And just knowing that there are people who had done such incredible work and continue to do such incredible work. Thank you.
I think I'd like to invite Bonnie and Danielle to stand up as well. We had some mention about partners. They are here, and I'd like them to be acknowledged as well. Bonnie here. Dan, where's Dan? Also very important people. They've been there through the entire time that this work has been done, and they're part of that work. Thank you, too. Okay.
Hello, my name is Martine Stonehouse. I'm from Toronto, Ontario. I'm with Vice Chair of the Trans Lobby Group, along with Susan Gapka and Rupert Raj up there. I want to thank all the panelists up there. You gave very powerful presentations, and Aaron DeVore for organizing this whole thing here. I mean, everybody should get a round of applause, and all the people in this room. But I want to bring something that we call this moving trans history forward. We have a chance here to move trans history forward here in BC. Since 1998, the trans community here and politicians and so on have been trying to get gender identity and gender expression into the BC Human Rights Code. I have drafted up a letter, basically, from this conference. And I'd like to read it to you, and I'd love to get your support as we can try to make change here in BC. Dear Premier Christy Clark, we, the attending members of the Moving Trans History Forward Conference and the Transgender Archives at the University of Victoria, BC, would like to ask your government to pass and implement the ground of gender identity and expression into the BC Human Rights Code. Almost all provinces in one territory have already added gender identity to their codes, and this is very important in giving equal rights and recognition of transgender persons as equal and equitable in our society. We have been trying to get gender identity and expression into the BC Code since 1998. It is long overdue. Can we count on you and your government to add this important right into the BC Code and move trans history forward in BC?
Lovely. So I'd like a show of hands. How many people would like to send that letter to the government on behalf of this conference? Look around you. Okay, we're going to do that. You've just made history. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Martine.
Yes.
Speaker at the back.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Susan Gapka, Trans Lobby Group. Thank you. I just want to say how honored I've been the last few days to meet some of my mentors. And Jamie Lee, we finally meet. Thank you for sharing your very heartfelt message. We haven't really met in person, so let's talk afterwards. But just this panel and the history is so important to know where we've been. And today, I mean, pass the torch on from the previous generations to the younger generation. We're going to do amazing things in the next couple of decades. So thank you so much, everybody.
First of all, let's all give each other a hand of applause for just being. I really didn't know what to think a few days ago. When this event was going on, I got discouraged for filling out the registration because I didn't know how. And then I didn't even bother. Fortunately, I have a therapist and her partner. I reopened the UVic volunteer schedule to be here, just to be a part of. And that's why I woke up this morning and I kind of thought, well, who am I going to be today? And that's one of the wonderful gifts of being me. I can transform from being Eileen to Ron, Ron to Eileen, and the clothes don't matter to me anymore. The gender doesn't matter to me anymore. Just being matters to me. The names, the gender, the clothes doesn't mean a thing to me anymore. Just being a part of and seeing all of you is what really matters to me today. And you know, I do adore each and every one of you. I'm going to make it short and sweet. And you know, I'm not at university level. I come from the street. I've been in jail. I've been a working girl before, so I know what it's like not to be here, but here. So it feels good to be a part of, right? And contribute and volunteer to be a part of, to give back to something that I only knew how to steal, right? So thanks.
This is why we're here. Thank you. The back.
My name is Tara Hoyer. I am a white cisgender female, and I'm becoming more and more aware of the privileges that come with that. I'm here because my son is trans, and I'm just looking for ways to become an advocate and to learn more. And I guess I just wanted to address Jason and not knowing where to go. And you're right, it's education. And I think also you need to make it personal. For me, that means telling people that I work with, my son's permission, of course, telling people I work with and friends and family all about my son. And because they know me, they're more willing to listen to me and accept. And I guess I just wanted to say that use us cisgender people, reach out to us, we're here to help.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Chase Blodgett from the Yukon Territory, which is next to Alaska. Okay, great. Thanks. And we're just starting to kind of get rolling with kind of the movement in the area that a lot of you have been very active in. So there just hasn't been policies or anything, and we're kind of operating from a lack of understanding. So I was just wondering, and I'll throw it out to all of you, what advice you have for younger trans activists coming onto the scene, because I hear you mention things like burnout or stuff like that. So just what advice do you have for us young folks coming up behind you?
Sure.
Can I
Want me to
jump on
start?
that one?
Jason's going to go first.
For me, if I was doing it again, and persistence, you have to be persistent. I said burnout. There are, many reasons why I quit doing it. One is because, as Aaron said to me a number of years ago, you catch more flies with honey than you do with vinegar. I don't like flies. I'm not a honey kind of person. I say what I think, and I mean what I say. That's not always popular. But you got to be persistent if you want the work to get done. And it's very, very important. I think the smaller the community, the more important it is, because that's where the most ignorance is. So I just be persistent. Draw upon the other people in your community who are doing the same work. Support each other. A hug goes a long way when somebody's feeling down. And it can be as simple as that. Being empathetic to people. I think probably the majority of us who have identified as trans in our lifetime have suffered depression. That's when we need each other the most.
My comment is that you have a wonderful tool that we here at this table did not have, and that's called the web, okay? But be aware that even though that it is so wonderful that you have an ability to access information, you are also accessing bad information. There's misguidance out there. There's things on that web that are intended to hurt you, to make you less than a human being. So supplement that with the opportunity to encourage your trans friends and things like this to attend conferences. The largest conference for youth is in Philadelphia. Go down to the lower states. They have 4,000 transgendered people show up in Philadelphia for a weekend. Youth. Not us older people that can't afford it, but most of it is free, okay? And network. Get involved in the GLBT movement. Don't be afraid of interacting with the queer movement. It has to happen continually from our, like I said, our non-GLBT people, our allies. We use the term allies in the States. Network with them and have them support you because they're willing to write the checks to keep you, the youth, from putting that gun in your mouth, that pill in your throat, and having to do another funeral. 40-some% of our transgendered youth commit suicide.
Terrible.
It's 40. If you ask trans people who are alive, have you attempted suicide? The figure is 40 to 41% will say yes. Those are the people who are alive to answer the questions.
So here's a youth issue, and I think that you pointed on that. Depression is our biggest enemy, and our biggest enemy is ourselves. So reach out, touch, feel, love one another, because without that, we don't have a community.
Rupert, I think, wanted to make a comment as well.
To echo some of the sentiments of, I forgot your name.
Jason.
Oh, Chase.
Jason.
I forget it sometimes too. I've only had it for a year, so.
Chase, Chase. Yeah, it's a wonderful question, and thanks for bringing it forward. So when I started doing the activism, I was 19 in Ottawa, and I was pretty much by myself. There was no one else really to draw upon. So along the way, I had to create alliances, and as Jason and Yvonne said, it create your allies from diverse communities. trans community, the queer community, the feminist and women's communities, indigenous communities, and also our cisgender loved ones and allies, as Tara mentioned. We have PFLAG and so on. Also, faith communities like the Metropolitan Community Church of Toronto, which has been very good to trans people in recent years. It took them a long time, but they're finally got there, and they have Thanksgiving dinners and Christmas dinners where they will invite the trans community to come out and be part of that. They're trying to get a trans group going. So online communities, virtual communities, and in-person communities. Also, I would say, build your support systems, personal, family, social, community, healthcare, whatever, professional providers. And to try and not burn out too badly, try to do the self-care piece and limit yourself in terms of your parameters. I see so many young trans activists that do too much. They overstretch themselves. They lose their schooling, their work, sometimes their relationships, and so on, their sanity, their health. So start small and focus small on maybe one population, one area, one issue, and don't do it by yourself. And there are lovely allies, like in this very room. So you don't have to reinvent the wheel, because a lot of it, there are models out there. If you want to email me, or I guess if anyone in the room or on the panel may be willing to work with you, if you drop us a line. But believe in yourself and draw upon your own strength and your trans sisters and trans brothers and loved ones, cis loved ones, trans loved ones, and the community. You'll do fine, Chase.
Chase has done fine already. There's lots more to come. I'm aware of the time, and I'm aware that you've all been sitting for quite a long time. So I've got one more person at the back who's waiting, and if it's short, Damien can speak. And then what I would suggest is that you all just stand up so you can move for a moment, but don't go away, because we have one very short welcome, thank you, closing comment from the university. And then I have a few more things I have to say that are just housekeeping items that will not take very long to finish up. Okay.
My name is Damien. I'm 23 years old, and I'm a young trans man living here in Victoria. I just wanted to make a quick comment here. I'm a survivor of many suicide attempts. I started from my neck down, and I never thought that I would be alive to see this today. It is so inspiring, and I've shed so many tears during this conference. Everything you said has touched me so much. I got to talk to Rupert a bit, and I got to talk to Yvonne as well. I'm developing my spirituality every day. I'm almost in my third year here at university as a Bachelor's of Science in Psychology. And I'm looking forward to helping other people, so what happened to me will never happen to another person again. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Damien.